Fuck, dude. This is like the 50th fucking time I've tried to record this, and I've got like 4 hours of sleep in the past like 40 fucking hours, so I'm dead tired. Christ. So, no matter what fucking happens, this is the last time I'm gonna record this shit before I go to sleep. So, Dreamhack Montreal. What a fucking tournament. So, I'll just go in like chronological order, I guess, as much as I can. So logically, I just start with prepping before we head out, before we went out to boot camp. Um, I'd actually taken it upon myself to just like hard focus um, on preparing myself. I stopped coaching, I think like 3 weeks out, maybe even 2 weeks before the boot camp. Like sort of, it had been like 3 weeks from the tournament itself. I stopped to focus more on putting more time in the solo queue. I stopped streaming solo queue on my main so I could focus on improving. And the week before I flew out, I made sure I was playing 10 plus games a day and forcing myself to play when exhausted to prep myself for the LAN because, you know, LANs like that always run late because of how many games there are. So you have to be ready to play tired. Um, so I put a lot of prep in like myself before like the boot camp itself even started. But going into the boot camp slash the tournament, I was very uneasy for multiple reasons. One is the simplest one: we fucking lose like almost all of our scrims. And granted, we lost scrims at the boot camp, like almost all of them there too. I think we won maybe like two scrims, like the whole fucking two fucking scrims, like the whole week before the tournament and our boot camp. We were just awful. We were just an awful scrim team, I guess. So like I don't put too much stock in scrims, but when you lose as much as we did, it's hard not to put at least a little bit of stock into it. Second, I was having trouble sleeping. Part of this stemmed from the fact that I was playing so much and I cared so much about being ready, playing well, and not letting my team down um, heading in. But I was having a lot of trouble sleeping and had some unpleasant thoughts going on in my head at night. So I was a bit worried that that would continue once I got there and it'd be difficult for me to focus. And then the third one was the fact that, you know, after like a few weeks of that hard grind, you know, I wasn't sure if this was something I wanted to do anymore. As in like playing amateur or just like playing competitive league or like pursuing a career in competitive league. Because I've been playing for a long time now and it's difficult for me to, at least I felt it was really difficult for me to adjust my play style and just like improve um, at any reasonable pace at this point because I'm very stubborn. I'm very set in my ways type of person. Once I get an idea about stuff, I'm very unwilling to um, change how I play. Um, and I just with all that time I put in and the fact that I wasn't feeling like I was really improving that much, um, and I wasn't having fun. Like I fucking hate solo queue. um, I feel like the style I play is just not conducive to winning in solo queue a lot. Um, but I could go on and on about that for forever, so I won't go into that. But basically, I wasn't sure if there was something I wanted to do. I was very, very strongly considering just calling it a career after Dreamhack, you know, like regardless of how we did. Unless like we just like ended up like beasting out. Like if we just like, I don't know, like fucking 10 out the bracket and won without anyone putting up a fight, just like 20 out all of our scrims beforehand, but like obviously that's not realistic. Um, so I had those three things affecting me. heading into the boot camp itself. But to be completely honest, almost all of that went out the window the second I met everyone there at the boot camp. Um, I love my team, every single one of them. You know, from our manager to our coach, from our top to support, every single one of those guys. I'm glad I can call them my friends, because that week fucking saved us. Like, well, it saved me at least. I feel like everyone felt like we got a lot out of it too, though. Regardless of the fact that like the first 3 days of the boot camp, we stuffed 8 people into an Airbnb with like 3 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. It was very fun in the morning. Like, granted, like 2 people had to share beds. Like, so our room assignments were me, Julian, Artemis. Julian and Artemis shared the bed. I took the air mattress. Tyler, our manager, Constantine, our top laner, and Tactical, our AD carry, shared a room. I believe it was Tactical and Tyler on the bed, Pi on the air mattress, and then our coach Zoo had his own room, and then one of the ERG guys stayed with us on the couch. And the ERG guys were the ones who paid for the boot camp. So, despite like those living conditions, like funnily enough, me, Artemis, and Julian, I feel like we had like a really nice like roommate dynamic, like right from the get-go too. And it was interesting because the way our team dynamic works in general is me, Julian, and Artemis are kind of the veterans kind on the team. So Tactical and Pi, our top and AD, are both like in high school. They're both 17, and they're both fucking insane mechanical players. If they keep playing competitive, expect to see them in academy and LCS, because those guys are fucking nuts. And like they deferred to us because this is their first LAN, and they deferred to us because us three have LAN experience. We've been around, and we're a bit older. I'm 19, 20 in like 2 months, a bit under 2 months. I believe Artemis is like 22, and Julian is 20. And we've all got like team experience and LAN experience. I think I've got the most team experience out of the three. But I joined the team a bit later than Julian and Artemis. So Artemis was our already designated main shot caller, and Julian was our secondary. And it was weird for me at the start because on pretty much every team I've ever played on, I was mostly primary, and on a few that I came into later, I was the secondary. But on pretty much any team I joined from the start or joined early, I'd always been primary. And it was really weird for me to transition from not only just not primary, but to just not really call. And it took me longer than I'd like to adjust. But I feel like once the boot camp started, I slotted into the role. I was kind of just like the glue guy. You know, I knew my job was not to play carry. You know, my like either Julian, Pi, or Artemis, or Tactical, even Artemis in some cases had me covered on that. And I just knew, I just do my job. You know, I track jungle, I play tanks. You know, I fill in missing comms whenever they're there. I keep the team guided towards a direction, and we'll be good to go. And I really came into that role over the course of the week. So it's funny because like as I think Tyler intended, I think he picked the room assignments, not the lane assignments. I think he picked the room assignments, and I actually think he did a really good job. If that was, I don't know if it was an accident or what, but us three being in that room together was actually really good for, I feel like, our team dynamic as a whole, because we really bonded over some no homo shit, like for real, but like there were some very funny things that happened in that room. Like so Zoo and Tyler and Coach Shiba, when he arrived, went into the staff house on like Wednesday. They like rented out like a house, so like we weren't fucking putting like 10 people into a three bedroom B Airbnb. So they moved out. So theoretically, we all could have had our own bed, but June and Artemis had gotten used to sleeping together in the same bed at that point, and I'd gotten used to sleeping on the air mattress, and I really enjoyed their company. So we all decided to just stay in the room, even though we all could have got our own bed at that point. Um, and I feel like we, funnily enough, like it probably wasn't like a huge deal, but just being roommates for that week helped us bond, and then that bond in turn like helped like our team dynamics, just because of like how our team was structured like top to bottom in terms of like roles on the team and like calling and like hierarchy, and it was really interesting. So if you watch this, Tyler, good shit on that. So as far as the boot camp itself goes, it was fun. I think it actually is nice that we had to commute to where we wanted to play. We took the bus and the metro every day to the gaming center that we played at. All of our meals got delivered there. It was nice. We had some hand cash. If we wanted to walk across the street, there was a convenience store and a bakery that we could pick up stuff at. There was like a Subway really close to us. There was like a pizza place. It's an Asian food place. It was just really nice. And like by our house, there was like a McDonald's too. If we ever wanted to make like late night McDonald's runs, I'm pretty sure Pi made McDonald's runs like every fucking night. Um, but we had all the tools we needed to succeed, and we were just like heating up like through the week. Even though we lost every fucking scrim, lost every fucking scrim, but we were definitely like improving and heating up through the week, ironing out a lot of the inconsistencies in our play, and just like identifying like what we're good at and like just playing to it. Because like we've been playing together for a while, but we never really had like a real coach. Like Artemis, our shot caller, did our fucking pick ban for like a month and a half, basically on his own, before the tournament. So like we were used to being like self-sufficient. So at first like we kind of like resisted like our coach Zoo coming in and doing like pick ban and stuff. I feel because it wasn't that he wasn't doing a good job at pick ban. It's that like our team required like a different, like we couldn't, like he was coaching us like we were an NACS team, but like we're a team or an amateur team with like noticeable like playstyle patterns and playstyle strengths. So like drafting us like certain things just like weren't working. But huge ups to him because he definitely took our input into account and adjusted what he did for us. And we adjusted for him too, and we just met in the middle. And it's it might not seem like a hard concept, but you'd be surprised the people who haven't really played on a serious team, like how hard it can be to find people who are open-minded like that. So us being able to put aside like egos and like like this like our opinions and stuff to just like I don't know, just like pull our minds together and decide like, yeah, this is what we're good at, this is what we like excel with, and this is what we're gonna do, regardless of like this and this, was a really big strength of ours. Like the people who just watch me stream, like you guys probably know me as like a Lee Sin player, a Graves player, like you see me play all these champs, and then like if you watch me at all in the tournament, I played like Sejuani like 90% of the games. I got like Gragas every now and then. I played Jarvan every now and then. think I played like one Poppy game. That was it. That was literally my tournament. and you're and the thing is like it's like I like playing Gragas. I like playing Sejuani. Um, but like obviously if you gave me the choice, like yeah, I would play Lee Sin Graves, but I understand that like Pie Kick Lord, our top laner, is fucking one of the best top laners in NA at playing carries. So I put aside what I want to do for the better of the team, and I just played tanks. And like everyone, like that was just one example. Like all of us were. This is my ERG jersey, by the way. Um, all of us were we sacrificed like that. You know, like one of the problems I have is like I farm too much, and we ironed that out. Like problems like we had like every lane we would talk about it. No one would get angry because at the end of the day we all knew like we're out here to win, and we would just talk about it, and then we'd identify how to fix it, and then we'd put it in practice. And like a week is not a lot of time, especially because on Friday we didn't get to scrim due to the fact that we had to like go out to the venue and stuff, and we were getting canceled on throughout the week. Um, so a week wasn't like it was definitely necessary for us to put out a good showing, but it wasn't a lot of time. It wasn't as much time as you'd think um, to prepare. So we couldn't iron out like absolutely everything, but we could iron out a lot. And huge ups to Zoo because there's no way we would have gotten it all fixed in time, regardless of how much time we had to prep if he wasn't there. The funny thing is, Zoo actually, we had no fucking clue if he was gonna come or not. We had no fucking clue if we'd have a coach for the first half of the boot camp because Coach Shiba, the other dude who helped out with us, didn't arrive until I think Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday. So our first few days, if we didn't have Zoo, if he ended up not coming, we would have had just nobody, except our boy T Combs, which is sorry T Combs, you're not a coach, you're an analyst, you're not doing our draft. And that would have been nice to like be able to play in person with everyone, but like we still wouldn't have had like someone guiding us to improve. So the fact that he came out and took time out to help us was huge. So going into the tournament, I don't know how everyone else felt, but I was a bit uneasy because of our scrim record. I knew we'd improved. I know we'd ironed out a lot of mistakes, but at the end of the day, like, it would have been nice to win some scrims to get some confidence. So in our group, we went 5-1. Our one loss was to wild card. I didn't think too much of it. Obviously, it would have been nice to win for the confidence and to get first seed, but I knew the primary factor in our loss was the fact that we just didn't put ourselves in a good position to win from Champ Select, and I knew we'd fix it for the next game, which we did. So we went 5-1 in groups, came out as a 2 seed, played Windstorm, one of the Windstorm gaming teams, first round of playoffs. 2 of them. First game was I think it was like a 40-minute game, and we ended up just out macroing them later. Our early game was kind of shitty. Second game we kind of just rolled them, I think. So pretty easy 2-0. And that was the end of Saturday. Sunday opened up with our best of 3 against Wyndham Rain in round of 8 winners. They beat us 2-1. Game 1, we were in a good spot, and then we threw at mid lane. We threw the whole game at mid lane, overextending for a turret, and then we lost. They got Baron. Tilly got a pentakill. Went next game. Don't really remember what happened. I think we just played clean early, and this time didn't throw and beat them. And then game 3, I think we were doing okay, and then we just got outscaled by LeBlanc, Gnar, 1-3-1, because our solo lanes were Shen and Orianna. They put a bunch of side lane pressure on, and then we didn't play around Baron properly, and we lost. So, honestly, my mental was still okay after that game, It was when we got into the next game, we were playing some like random ass like Quebec team. I'm pretty sure. Um, I don't really know, but they're like mostly diamond players, so like definitely a team we should have just shit on. And the big turning point for me in that game was when I like ganked top and I fucked up the execution, and we ended up getting 0 for 1 on the gank. What like our top laner died, and I didn't get the kill because he executed, and I just tilted the fuck out that game. I was just like, fuck, I gotta make up for this somehow, and I accidentally built red smite, had to end up buying Sightstone, and I was just like super tilted, and I like built like Titanic Hydra, and like I couldn't actually. It was a game where it was a terrible build because like I couldn't actually kill anyone, and I like super tilted that game. Probably the second worst game of my turn, easily the second worst game I played all tournament. I didn't really get out jungled, but like I just like deviated from the game plan, and just didn't play our game, and we ended up having to win in like 50 minutes in a backdoor or some shit. And my mental was just like boom after that game. For a bit, I had to walk around and calm down. Um, if we had lost there, it would have been like I don't even want to think about it. So after we beat them, um, we played wildcard next, a rematch from the team that beat us in groups. Um, and all I really remember from this game, all that really was relevant in this game was that I played Jarvan. I started red buff on blue side. I came bottom level 2 right after red buff. We got a double kill, and then our bot lane just shit on them. Took first turret, and we like took rift and dragon and just snowballed the game and rolled them. And it sucks that they had to go out like that because they were definitely one of the top like 4 or 5 teams in the tournament, but they got upset by some other team and ended up having to play us. Unlucky. So after wildcard, we played DZG. I think they place they placed really high at like ETS land. I think I don't know what how they did at last year's DreamHack, but their roster was okay. I don't really remember too much about this game. I I know I played Gragas. I had a really bad gank top lane. I actually got us double kill top lane at like 3 minutes because I got counter ganked and didn't respect jungle. And then after that, I kind of just farmed and tracked, and then we took some good plays in the mid game. Our bot lane, I think, just popped off, and we ended up winning pretty clean 25-30 minutes after, like, aside from my really bad early gank. We played after DZG was Meltdown QC, I think, which is it was hard. The same one from Echo Fox last year. Ryu Shoryu at AD carry, Trance Therapy support, Wasabi middle, and TQS Zardian top. I don't really know what was going on between Zardian and Hard. I think they swapped throughout the tournament, like role swapped. But against us, Zardian played top. All I really remember about this game is like jungle were just matched, and then Pi just went off on the poor Maokai. It was Nar versus Maokai. Pi was Nar, and he just like soloed him like 4 times, and just like we just played off his split pressure and just like just rolled them. Um, so not much to say about that game really. And then after Meltdown, it was losers finals up against Zenith, and to be honest, they look kind of mentally crushed because they just lost 2-1 to Wind and Rain, and they threw the third game, pretty hard, at least from what I saw. So they didn't seem like too ready heading into the game because we were running pretty late on schedule too. So they had to start pretty fast. They didn't get too much of a breather, and the early game was just really slow. But that favors us because just of our team's playstyle. I matched early jungle pressure everywhere, and then they gave Pie Cake Camille, which is like a big no-no. Like, don't do that. And we just rolled them. They took a Baron fight with us at like 25 minutes because they had to. Pretty sure like every single champion on their team got outscaled by ours. So they took a fight, and I think 3 of them DC'd, but I don't think many of the DCs actually mattered. I think maybe like one. I know one like definitely mattered. well, actually, I don't even know if it definitely mattered. One mattered a bit, and like I don't think one of them mattered at all, and then one might have mattered like a little bit. But like the game was already like clearly like in our favor when DCs happened, and I don't want to like brush it off because like DCing in a LAN tournament fucking sucks. Like especially like at a point where like they were behind, like they were clearly behind. They can't fucking argue that they weren't. But I won't like obviously the game wasn't insurmountable. Like it's fucking amateur League of Legends. Anything can happen. But um, I just feel like if like that we remade or something off of that, it would have been like a huge disservice to us because we played the early game like exactly like how we wanted it. So after that, there's like a Baron fight, and then after that, we kind of just took Baron and rolled them, and that was the end of the game. It's unfortunate that the tournament was so late behind schedule that we had to play BO1s because I feel like we could have had a really good set. I thought Zenith was a really good team heading into the tournament, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. And speaking of cookies crumbling, like the tournament was so fucking behind schedule that the Dreamhack admins gave Wind and Rain a free game win in grand finals because we were coming from losers finals, and I wouldn't have really cared too much if it wasn't if it was best of 5 like it was supposed to be, but instead they made us play a best of 3 with them having a 1 game advantage, which legit just meant they were playing BO1 and we were playing BO3 because we would have had to 2-0 them before they took 1 game off us, which is pretty insane. Like the advantage that gives is ridiculous. Like if you get 1 game in a BO5, like you still get 1 chance to get cheesed and like still win, or like get 1 chance to like fuck up and then like still take the series. But with like 1 game in a BO3, we beat them in the first game. Like we legit just fucked them. They got nothing done. We just destroyed them. And then game 2, we were destroying them not as hard. Like it was a bit messier in the early game, but we were still up. We got 2 inhibs at one point, and then we just couldn't close. Honestly, I don't really remember many of the specifics from that game, aside from the like crazy ending where there was like a big 2v2 that we lost at their base. Because honestly, I was running on fumes at that point. Um, but I do know I played really fucking poorly. Part of it was the comp I wasn't set up to succeed against, but I also built like trash. It was easily the worst game I played all tournament, and it's unfortunate that it came at a time like that, but what can you do? Um, it sucks because I fully believe like there'd been like the best of 3, best of 5, we would have taken it easy. I fully believe that I was the best jungler at the tournament. It just sucks that in the game, obviously like the one that's gonna have the most scrutiny, like game 3, game 3 of like grand finals, like everyone's watching that, and if you don't play well there, then you know that, that there's no better time to play well, and I didn't. So it's unfortunate that that happened because I felt like aside from that, I played a pretty good tournament um, overall, and it just sucks that like most of the people who watched only got to see that game, when in reality like we made a fucking nasty losers run. Because like going into the tournament, there were like 4 teams that people thought were like serious contenders. There was us, um, Wildcard, who we beat in losers bracket. There was Wind and Rain, who we played in finals and round of 8, and there was Zenith, who we beat in losers finals. And then on top of that, like 3 of the other teams that people thought would be like dark horses were like DZG, who we beat, QC Meltdown, who we beat, and U of T, who just didn't even make it to us for us to beat. So um, we ran the gauntlet. Like we basically played like every good team in the tournament and went through all of them except for Wind and Rain. So um, I was very upset after like we huge props to Zoo for what he did right after the game. He didn't let us sit there and look at the monitors, which is all I wanted to do. Frankly, just be sad. But huge props to him for picking us up and giving us a feel good speech. I don't even know what I'd call it. I don't know. Feel good speech sounds like it's artificial when it's not. It really did mean a lot. But like after that, and we shook their hands, I sat down at my computer for a bit and just took a look at the scoreboard and just thought about every mistake I made in the game. And I couldn't bring myself to muster up the energy to like unplug my gear and get going. Like I couldn't believe like that was how the tournament ended. And I'll never forget what everyone said to me after that. Never in a million years will I forget that. But definitely made me feel better. It's a lot easier to stomach getting second when we lost one, like we went 1-1 in finals and lost. So like, and been beaten like fair and like, I'm not gonna say not like fair and square is not the best way to put it, because like the admins like gave them a game, but like had the schedule not been so late, like they would have never got the game. It should have been a best of 5, and I think we would have taken it from them there. Like, you know, granted the results are always going to say Wind and Rain first place, or Through Gaming second place, but it's a little easier to stomach because I truly believe we were the better team. I truly believe everyone on the team was the best player in their position for the tournament, and you know, no one can take that away from me or us. So, you know, despite the fact that we didn't get the outcome that we wanted, you know, we made one hell of a run, and, you know, nothing to be ashamed of. And, you know, more important than, like, the prize money or, like, the run we made, like, I'll never forget this group of guys, like, from Zoo fucking crossing the border without a valid passport to Artemis sharing a fucking bed and being like the D4. Like everyone just memed on Artemis because he was like Diamond 4 heading into the tournament, but legit him and Tactical just fucked every ball in the tournament. Like didn't care who they were. It's like 2v2 solo kills on everyone, and Artemis was on top of that being the best shot caller in the tournament by far. Like the dude's insane. Like Tactical and Pi, very first lands, and like they made so few mistakes. Like, and there were like, I'm not saying like everyone on the team makes mistakes. Everyone made mistakes, but like for their first land to be in such a high pressure environment and to come out and perform the way they did, like they just hard carried like a fuck ton of our games. Like, it was insane. And Julian, my boy Julian, like every team in the tournament had like 2 strategies basically. Well, yeah, 2 strategies. They'd either like ban me out or they'd ban Julian out. And he ate so much pressure from like every team because a lot of people looked at our team like, well, they got a D4 support in bot lane. They've got a top laner who like doesn't play tanks, and so we just ban out their jungler, or we ban out their mid laner and just get rid of their best player, right? We just put all the pressure there, and you know he did it like him taking the back seat when he realized that's what teams were trying to do to him, and stepping up to carry whenever he had the opportunity. Like he played his heart out. We all did at this LAN. And him letting himself take the backseat and not trying to force the issue for him was a huge thing for our team. Like had he tried to force the issue, I don't think, and like just tried to have been like try to hard carry every game, I don't think we would have had nearly the same success that we did. So everyone on the team buying in and doing their job was a huge part of it, and We had a lot of fucking fun. Just like riding the metro together, riding the bus together. There was a fucking night where we got fucking lost. Like almost like we were pretty much legitimately lost, and we all were just like talking about like things, and then like eventually you were like, oh wait, we made it, and we just got home. And that was actually like the best bonding exercise of all. Like, fuck League of Legends. Like getting lost in a foreign country that where most people don't speak your language, and having to find your way home like at late at night when you need to get to home to fucking sleep for the next day is I can't think of a better bonding exercise than that, man. Like between walking to the gas station at 1 a.m. to pick up energy drinks, or waking up at 6 a.m. to get in the shower quick, or whatever. Like this weekend was just, or this weekend especially, like it's just magical, man. There's I can't put it into words. I wouldn't trade it for anything. When I said it on Twitter that this is probably the best week of my life, nothing else comes to mind when I think of like best week of my life. This shit was amazing. I can't thank ERG enough for doing this. Pretty much all the other teams they were either getting flight or hotel, or like hotel and not flight, like just, or like maybe both, but like they'd only pay for like 1 day of hotel or something, like just, or you'd have to bring your own computers or some shit. ERG was fucking MVP, because not only did they fly us out like a week in advance, not just a weekend, or not just like on Thursday, they brought the computers, and they were good computers. Like they got like fucking more FPS than I get on my own computer. They provided food every day, so we didn't break our fucking budget. They provided flights and they provided the lodging. And like granted it wasn't like a 5-star hotel, but like the fact that they did all this and didn't fucking scamaz us like a lot of the other orgs did for the other players was insane. And they gave us like the sick jersey. So I can't thank them enough. This whole weekend, our whole like insane losers bracket run, up until taking 2 inhibs and just being this short of making it to the Nexus and taking the whole thing. None of that would have been possible without everyone from the team buying in. Zoo deciding to come up and help us, Tyler and the ERG guys being super clutch in getting us everything we needed, whether it was like computer parts so we could actually play at the LAN, or transport for our computers, or chairs so that we didn't fucking die like in the like 12-hour Dreamhack days, water, like food, you name it. They fucking stepped up, and they provided everything we could have asked for, and I'm glad we were able to give them a good showing. Not I'm forever be upset that we didn't get first, but second place ain't bad. Not like second place ain't bad, especially when considering all the shit that we went through to get to that second place, and all the bonding we went through over the week. I wouldn't trade it for a thing. If I could do everything over again, I'd do the exact same. I'd probably pack more long sleeve shirts though. So that's about all I had to say. It was a crazy week. Gonna be taking a short break before I head back into streaming and coaching, because I've played so much League this past fucking 3 weeks and a month, and I'm actually so tired right now. I'm about to knock the fuck out. But it was a great week. Not much else to say. So, thanks for, if anyone watched this, oh, wait, and the last fucking thing, the most important thing, that I was, fuck, I've recorded this so many times now that I forgot. I've made the decision that I won't be considering any offers for coaching or analyst work aside from super high profile offers for the next split. I will be fully intending to go into the next split as a player, whether it's in NA for Academy or LCS, or if it's in Latin America LLN, or Oceanic region, or whatever. I'm fully looking to be a player in a professional league. I am not retiring. And I'll still stream and do private coaching on the side, but I probably won't entertain any team or any team coaching or analyst offers because I still think I can make it as a player, and this tournament help reaffirm that in my mind. I fully believe I was the best jungler at this tournament, and you know there's a lot of up-and-comers, young up-and-comers at this tournament, and I fully believe I outperformed all of them. If you consider the whole tournament as a body of work, I think as a whole we played the most games too. I think we went like 14-4. We dropped like 1 game to wild card and 3 to war over 2 sets. So yeah, pretty insane weekend. Well, technically, I think we went 14-3. No, 14-4. 14-4. That's right. So yeah, 18 games over 2 days, and yeah, pretty nutty weekend. Had a lot of fun meeting a bunch of people. Special shout outs to Mailu and Sligo and Daruk, who I bummed it up with at the airport. I think I mentioned everyone already. You know, I'm never gonna forget this team. Favorite team of all time to play with for sure. They've taken the spot in my head. My favorite team ever. It sucks that I don't think we'll ever. I don't think we'll be continuing as a team. But I can't thank Supernova and ERG enough for giving us the opportunity to prove ourselves at Dreamhack. You know, they could have easily picked up some higher profile players. They easily could have done a lot of things that would have made this whole thing not possible. But you know, they held up their end of the bargain, and I'm glad we held up ours. It was a great time. As far as Scanning Grounds goes, I don't know if I'll be going for that yet. I haven't decided. Like I said, I've gotten no sleep in the past like 2 days almost. So I don't really want to think about it. I don't want to think about anything. The only thing I want to think about is ending this vlog, uploading it, and going to sleep. So that's what I'm going to do. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm out. Oh, wait. I want to show my jersey. Boom. Oh, you can't. No. There we go. He actually spelled my name right. It's a fucking miracle. So yeah. No, I'm not Canadian. So yeah. That's all I really wanted to say. Time to sleep.